Welcome back to Rabbit Troop Sucks. Today we will be covering Miami Connection from 1987. I am your host, Paul, and this is my co-host, Mike.
Hello.
And Mike, they got you. You're not feeling well, and you're calling in remotely. You're coming in from
true.
The remote studio.
Yeah, RTS East.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, on the mend, but just trying to be considerate to everybody and not spread whatever I had or have around.
Who got you, Mike? Who do we need to track down? Who got you?
The city of Houston is who I blame for this.
Ooh, could they make it up to you in any kind of way? I feel like we're at a safe distance. We're in Denver, Colorado, but what could Houston do for you?
I don't know. That place sucks. They don't have anything that I want.
I just watched every listener just tick down. It was like tick, 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 tick.
On the big light board that tracks our listener demographics. Texas is now silent.
I have like a Santa Claus sized light board. Like who's naughty, who's nice, who's talking about Rabbit Troop Sucks, where are they from?
Not Houston anymore.
What gifts have they given us, or curses, or ailments?
I have that gift, curse, and ailment all in one.
Is there an Excel spreadsheet that we could create that like cross-references some of those things?
Probably.
I want laminates that go over them. So we were like, here's where we're at. But now when I add the laminate of who gave you the curse, then there's a laminate on top of that. Laminates on top of laminates. It's a tongue twister.
Sounds complicated.
It's the album everyone wanted to hear.
I'm not very good at Excel, so
that's fine. Just get some AI to write it for you. It'll be great. Well, we are a podcast about obscure movies, and we're obscurely tracking down Mike's cause of his ailment. So I guess that all is connected. We're like, that's
the true mystery.
Yeah, we're like film sleuths, but for everything, everyday men sleuthing around. You want to know about film? You want to know about some kind of bacterial infection or sickness or quarantine situation we need in a global pandemic? Write us. We'll talk about it. That's
the podcast everyone wants to listen to.
It's pretty much the premise of this movie. I mean, like word for word, it is clearly what Miami Connection is about. Which, let me read you the IMDb summary. A martial arts rock band goes up against a band of motorcycle ninjas who have tightened their grip on Florida's narcotics trade. And all of that is correct. But what they didn't say what they didn't say in the summary is this is the world's greatest film.
Yeah, they left that out for some reason.
I don't know why. I mean, I would bill it that this is the world's greatest film, and people should probably get to know it. If you don't know Dragon Sound.
Well, I feel like a lot of people do now, because ever since this movie got kind of re-released, I feel like it's become a pretty popular cult classic.
Yeah. So if you were unaware of this, comedian Paul Scheer, are you aware of this comedian?
Maybe.
If you look him up, you would see him. He's in so many things. You should look him up. He's an actor. He's been in like a million things, like Children's Hospital and a billion things that you've seen. He also has a podcast about like zany films or like crazy B films. And I saw him on an interview, and he brought up that he did this film. He's like, oh yeah, we're doing this movie called Miami Connection. It's crazy. But I feel you, me, and unfortunately Lamar's not here, found this movie pretty ground floor. So from my understanding, this movie was like scrapped. They did some reshoots. It did horribly. No one ever watched it. And then years later, some people saw it and they're like, oh my God, this is awesome. And the director's like, thank God. And then they re-released it. And I feel about, like, honestly, close to 10 years ago, me, you, and Lamar watched this movie. It was like weird because like we could only rent it from the PlayStation Network, and like you brought over a PlayStation. It was like very complicated for 10 years ago, but we watched it. And I remember enjoying it. And
yeah, so I did a little bit of research onto how this movie kind of came back into the public light. And apparently it was a program director for Alamo Drafthouse.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, and we have a couple of those in Denver, but it's a Texas chain. Sorry, Texas, for trash talking earlier. but Houston still sucks. But
Alamo
this guy,
Draft House is great. On a side note, I
Alamo
love.
Draft House
Yeah.
is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy found an original 35 millimeter like pressing of this film on eBay and bought it on a lark because it sounded bonkers, and watched it and then contact YK Kim, who is the writer, director, star, creative force behind this movie,
As you do.
right? And said, "Hey, like, we want to release this movie in Alamo Draft Houses." And Kim was like, he thought they were just clowning
Oh
on him,
yeah,
like
I
they
remember
just
reading that.
they
Yeah.
just kind of wanted to make fun of him. Um, and the guy was like, "No, like, I legitimately." I think people will enjoy this. Well, I mean, I think something was lost in translation there because this movie is not good, and everyone wants to clown on it. That's like why it's fun to watch. Uh,
On a side note,
but he agreed.
I love this film.
I do as well. But like, people don't like this movie because it's good. People like this movie because it's ridiculous. And from what I've read, it doesn't sound like that was Kim's intent. Like he thought he
Yes.
was making an actual good movie.
Yeah, which is like super weird because like I could see in some parts when there's like ninja battles and stuff. Like if this movie was filmed out of order or something like that, and someone's like, this guy was like really like into martial arts and wanted to make a cool, weird like city ninja film, I'd be like, okay. But when those same ninjas are also full-time college students and also full-time band members of the band Dragon Sound who literally sing about ninjas in their lyrics. I don't know where in hell you thought that could go into a serious direction. Like that's insane.
Right. Well, I mean, he was effectively making a commercial. He owned, or still does, probably not, owned a Taekwondo. That's the discipline in this movie, right? Taekwondo,
Yes.
or yeah. He owned a studio in, I think not Miami, Orlando, and was basically making like the Top Gun of Taekwondo movies. Like this was a commercial for his studio.
Right.
And I mean, I would have gone if I had seen this movie in 1987 or 80, whatever. I would have been all for taking
hear me
lessons
out.
from this guy.
Double-edged sword, because I think Dragon Sound, you might be like, wait, do I also have to be in this band? Which, for me, yes, I would totally be part of Dragon Sound.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need me to do? Sign me up. But I think for most people, it was, whoa, do I need to be part of Dragon Sound? Because Dragon Sound might not be the vibe I'm trying to set off in my new Orlando digs.
Right. Well, I don't know. I mean, it sounds great. It sounds great to me. Like, you got Taekwondo, you've got Dragon Sound, and you've got fighting drug dealers. What else do you need?
I mean, that's every day.
Right.
Denver, what's your equivalent to Dragon Sound? I don't think you should even say on air.
Yeah,
like, I don't need, because I don't know how they'll be taken. I just don't. There's so many like, is it a compliment? Is it a diss? I don't need hate mail because someone's like, how dare you compare me to Dragon Sound?
Yeah,
Because I always take it as a compliment. I'm like, damn it! Like, thank God someone finally realized.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's not cross that bridge just in case.
Well, I guess we need to start off in this movie somewhere. So, yeah. So I don't even know where to begin. So we're somewhere in Miami. Most of this movie takes place in Orlando and is filmed in Orlando, but the opening starts off with Miami. There's some kind of evil doings going on. I shouldn't say evil, just like corrupt doings. This isn't like
it's like a drug deal in the jungle or something.
Sure, the jungles of Miami, as one goes
exactly.
into. Do you want to get some good food? Do you want to learn about our culture? And do you want to hang out in our jungles and drug deal? And the answer is yes. And there's probably some kind of, I don't know, service for that. I'm gonna put that in quotes, tourist service. Anything you need. Anything, Dragon Sound.
Whenever I think of Miami, I have never been to Miami. I have been to Orlando, but I've never been to Miami. Anytime I think of Miami, all I can think of is like the establishing shots from the TV show Dexter, where they just show like the outside of a nightclub and like some hot Latin beats.
Sure. What about
also
Will Smith?
That's all I want. Well, yeah, I mean, Will Smith
He welcomes
set
you.
my president.
Like he
Yeah,
welcomes you to Miami, and then what you're telling me is like the opening sequence of Dexter unfolds.
right. You know, the water's so clear you can see to the bottom.
What it
$100,000 cars, everybody's got them.
what kind of hat are we talking about? Like Angel Batista? What kind of hat like was he wearing? I don't know
I,
what.
I, I don't know, like a trilby maybe,
Sure.
and like a guayabera probably.
Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that's Mike's alter ego. That's Miami
Hmm.
Mike. And so maybe this summer Miami Mike's gonna come out to play on the podcast where we do some weird Miami or summer themed movies and Mike's wearing those hats and I don't know.
I mean, I think this year represents kind of a sea change for my overall personality, and I'm definitely trending towards like bolder colors, gold jewelry,
Mm, mm.
much more Italian sunglasses. So I think that could fit.
I support all of this, and
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot more live pictures, not really of us, but just of Mike podcasting.
you're perfect.
So yeah, and maybe I mean honestly, if Rabbit Troop Sucks gets its own jewelry line based on this, I will absolutely sign off on that.
Okay.
Whatever we need. I mean, if you know, if Sonny's Rocks wants to come back in business,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so
Yeah.
we had a jeweler here off of Main Road, Colorado Boulevard for years, and the jeweler was just Sonny's Rocks, and
Yeah.
then it just becomes like Rocks.
Yeah.
It wasn't far. It's blocks away from the Black Eyed Pea, and I always laughed when they changed their name to just the P.
Bep, the P. Yeah, that closed down. It just closed down last week.
Oh, the Black Eyed Pea did?
Yeah.
Oh my
Black Eyed
God,
Pea's
that's been
gone.
away for like I mean that's been there for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. It was big news in the hood.
Yeah, then I just remember they very quickly changed it back to Black Eyed Pea because clearly someone's like, you just named yourself the P.
P, yeah.
They love it.
What do you want for dinner? Let's go to the P.
Let's go to the P. They
I've got a craving for the P.
lovely biscuits.
I got P on the mind. That's all I can think about is wrapping my mouth around some P.
Well, as always, right into Rabbit Troop Sucks, and I'll isolate any vocals necessary for Mad Beats and Mike Rhymes.
That's fine, as long as I get a cut.
I don't even think we're like 5 seconds into the film.
No,
but
we're not. Okay, sorry, I derailed that. So yeah, we're in the jungle, and
they
there's
open
like
with ninjas.
something. And yeah, just fucking ninjas right out of nowhere.
And this is what I never understand. Like, is this a bold move? So there's clearly a dude dressed all in white. So we're in some kind of jungle. It's midnight, 2 a.m. I don't know. It's pitch black. It's late at night. This guy's in a full white ninja outfit. And I've always thought in like 80s ninja movies, why are you doing this? Like, what's even the point? Like, or are you just so bold? You're like, I don't need to hide. I'm that kind of ninja. Like, boom.
Right.
Look at my white clothes.
It's not about stealth. It's about intimidation for him. He wants you to see him.
You're like, oh my
and
God.
be afraid.
Like this guy wrote me an email and said I was going to be here. And he is.
Yes.
Like he set up an appointment. That's modern ninjas. The modern shinobi clan. We moved on from faxes and pages. You know, we've got direct emails. We're starting a social network of our own. I'll join that social network, a ninja social network.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But
Do they have a podcast profile we can upload ourselves
yeah,
to?
if you're a ninja, feel free to write us. We'd interview you and let people know of your doings, your shadiness. Are you a turtle?
Yeah.
Do you live in the sewer? I don't know. There's all sorts of ninjas. Anyone could be a ninja.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There's some kind of shuriken that's thrown into someone's neck, I think, and that person's dead. And then
Yeah. Nothing really happens in this opening sequence. It's just to establish that like there are ninjas here.
there are ninjas.
And then the next scene is like a meeting of ninjas where they're complaining about something.
Yeah, I have a lot of quotes here, and I just don't know if we should go through all of them. I don't even know if I could read my handwriting. There's something like, "You forgot the most important thing, the money." And
Yeah.
I think that's like what it was like the pep talk of like one of the thugs is like, "We need more money." And they're like, "I don't know." He's like, "It's about money." I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So
It's like really chop talk.
the beginning of the movie kind of confused me because later on, I don't want to jump ahead too much, but later on, basically, Dragon Sound, this band, has to defeat ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know but the ninjas are also the drug dealers.
They were the good ninjas. No. Oh, yeah. I mean, throughout the film, like they do martial arts as good ninjas.
The band does,
Correct.
but they never dress up as ninjas.
That is correct.
Right.
Because remember, they're Mike. Their key lyrics. They're against the
They're
ninja.
again, exactly. So I guess I'm confused as to who the two sides of this conflict at the beginning
okay.
of the
So
movie
I think
were.
in the beginning, what's happening is these ninjas just take over some kind of like drug syndicate. They're like, these drugs are now ours.
Oh, so this was the takeover.
Yeah, and we run stuff. And then there's a meeting like, hey, like we're gonna do more. So there's clearly like some guy involved with ninjas. He's like, these ninjas do my bidding, and we're just gonna keep doing that. And that's the meeting of like the mob. They're like, we're gonna cut these people out. I don't like it. Blah blah blah. It's all about the money.
Got it.
And then
Okay,
hard cut to Dragon Sound.
Yeah, now we have Dragon Sound.
So Dragon Sound, just to make clear again to all of our listeners, so many hats of the main characters. They are full-time martial artists studying Taekwondo. They are full-time college students doing I have no idea what.
Yeah.
They are looking for jobs actively because that is talked about. They do have side jobs. They also play in a full-time band, which is Dragon Sound. And when they're not doing that, they're basically going up against gangs and rivals. It is just a full calendar of conflict.
Yeah, they've got a lot on their plate. And not all of them do Taekwondo, because there's the one guy who doesn't, who gets his ass kicked all the time.
Sometimes you need that guy.
The one who's looking for his father, which is another plot point of this movie.
Sort of. It's mentioned.
Yeah.
There's a lot of attempts at plot points and points.
And plot.
A lot of things are said.
Yes. Many things are said.
Sooner or later, much like Rabbit Troop Sucks, you just keep talking on a microphone, or in this case, you just keep filming. They're like, we will have enough to piece together something that happens. But don't forget, they're against the ninja and Dragon Sound. So when you have those core values, you could do whatever you want.
Right. But the first Dragon Sound song that we're introduced to is Friends Forever.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yes. Friends forever. You got a friend in me. When times get tough, you'll see. Friends, integrity, loyalty, and I think honesty. And then there's synth coming out of a guitar that I noticed. No one is playing any instruments, but boy, does that guy play a guitar, and the synth sound that we hear is mighty and epic. But they're all about friends. I feel we basically got a version of a Care Bears song. Like, I mean, if rainbows were shooting out of a bear's chest and someone said, friends, integrity, loyalty, honesty, I mean, that's like basically, isn't that the core values of a Care Bear? I mean, that's what gives me a Care Bear stare. So
probably, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, this song is dope. And I feel like it's like I have heard this song more recently than just having seen the movie. I feel like this song is kind of weaseled its way into pop culture in some way.
Weaseled or just worked its way. Listen, what are they teaching
rightfully
kids
earned its place?
What are they teaching kids in school today? They're teaching the kids about recycling, global warming, warring, politics. This is nonsense. We need to teach core values. Who's going to stand up and say they're against the ninja? Like when I have a school assembly and someone's like, this is a ninja and you're against him, and these are the reasons. I understand. I get it.
We should put together a Dragon Sound cover band and make the circuit of like Denver public schools at the pep rallies, or, the whatever they do at schools now.
I think you're putting us on the road one step away from like Chris Farley's, like I live down by the river in a van.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right. But then we add in a little music, and I think if we could throw down some K-pop in a school assembly, between our age, our ethnicity, and our knowledge of K-pop, I think this is going to go over well. I think we're going to...
Yeah, definitely.
I think we're going to get a new audience.
That's what everyone wants.
If we
Men in their 40s singing K-pop.
If we could get a Rabbit Troop Sucks dance, like do the Bartman or something like just catchy. Is there a Denver equivalent of someone? Is there an icon who could be our spokesperson and do something, let's do it. Twist and shout.
Can
Talk
our
to us. Wax tracks. Hit us up.
can our spokesperson be Dinger, the Triceratops from the Colorado Rockies?
Yes. Of course
Perfect.
it can.
Okay.
Listen, Denver, we're trying to unite all of us, so let's make it happen. Dinger, write us.
Yeah.
Write us your fan fiction. I would like to I would like to read that. And I'm not picky. It could be horror, sci-fi. It could be erotica.
Right.
Send us whatever. Send us your bank account.
Perfect.
So we're now fully into the film. 5 minutes. We've
Yeah, we're
established
5 minutes into
gangs,
this film.
drugs, white ninja, and other ninja. We've established
Well-
dragon sound.
Yeah, and at this first Dragon Sound concert that we're seeing, we see Beardy, like the head drug dealer guy,
Oh yeah.
and someone's like, "Hey, I don't know what this guy's name is. Hey, isn't that your sister, who is part of Dragon Sound? Like she's singing backup vocals."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I think so, Buck.
Yeah.
That is my sister." He's not stoked.
There's a weird dynamic here. There's about 40 people, I guess, in Orlando. That's all we got going. Like there's Disney World and there's 40 people doing other things. Because how would you not know this? It's like, honestly, like the people you go to high school with, you probably know a little bit about them. But this is now college. You would think this would be bigger, and it's not. Because everyone knows everything. We don't see a lot of people. And this guy totally flies off the handle. He's like, they're our rival. And I have no idea why Dragon Sound is a rival outside of they do martial arts and they sing about being against ninjas. But now the quote unquote rival gang is like, those are against my fundamentals. I have no idea. Like, why are they?
The third piece here was Dragon Sound took the spot of a previous band. So look, the band who they replaced at this nightclub is also against Dragon Sound.
Yeah.
And they do team up with the drug dealers.
That is true. That's really complex.
Yeah, it's a multi-layered. There's a lot of layers to this movie. It's very complicated. Kim was onto something.
It's like a bunch of 15-year-olds had rival gangs when we're doing stuff.
That's accurate.
This is one step away from the FP.
Right.
Yeah, where are we?
But so the next scene is like we're at school and we see Dragon Sound like palling around on campus.
Oh yeah.
And one of the guys, the tall doofy one, the one who's dating the drug dealer's sister, is hanging out, and he gets confronted by.
I do have names. Jane. We have Jane, the sister.
Is Jane the sister?
Yep.
Do you know what the brother's name is?
Jane's brother.
Jane's brother.
J-bro.
So him and his little cadre confront Dragon Sound and sister. They're like, I don't like you hanging out with these guys. They're just some piece of shit band. Like, who even is this guy? And the sister's like, calm down. He's just a friend. And he's like, a friend?
Yeah, that guy freaks
my
out.
favorite part of this movie.
Yeah, that guy totally freaks out.
He's a little unhinged.
I don't even know what to say. Like, imagine you're hanging around with anyone on Earth and you're like, oh, I think I have a connection with this person. We've been doing some like artistic endeavor together. Then you take a corner and you basically are in Hell's Gang, and like this guy's like meth to the max, and you're like, oh, that's my brother, and this dude is just freaking out. Like the guy from Dragon Sound seems like kind of like nerdy nice. Like he just, I don't know, I don't even say nerdy, just like kind of like maybe keeps to himself. Like, and I was like, I don't know why anyone's yelling at this guy. Like this guy's like serving no threat. He's like hanging around with his sister and they're like talking about like chemistry. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, he's threatened because he's against the ninja, and that's not what anyone wants.
Do they have a name, the rival band? Like,
No, I don't.
Gem and the
I have no
Holograms
idea.
has the Misfits. Like, who are these?
I have no idea.
That's crazy.
But so there's a little bit of a tussle, and thankfully the rest of Dragon Sound shows up to just beat the shit out of these guys.
Dragon Sound, I'm going to hand it to you, is down. Like, if there is a tussle, YK Kim is not having it. He is just like, we've got to get out of cars. We've got to leave doors. Like, hey, there's 40 dudes. Well, there's 3 of us, and I'm gonna punch everyone in the face. Like it is kind of intimidating because there's a lot of moments where there's like bigger groups, and he just walks out and is like, it's not like, hey, let's do it. He's like walks out, walks over, and just like kick to face, punch to face. Like people are like, oh shit, like that started, and that guy just took out 5 of our dudes. So,
Right.
tip to the hat, sir. Like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun.
I also like that Kim is very clearly a 45-year-old Asian man who is in college with a bunch of 20-year-old kids.
Yeah, it looks like community school, and like no one really has like a direction. I didn't really hear like what anyone's really studying or what the plan.
That's fair.
Maybe this was the prequel to Community. That'd be great.
He's their Pierce Hawthorne, basically.
That maybe this is the origin story of the dean, and he becomes the dean.
Okay.
No one saw it coming.
I believe it though.
Yeah, somewhere after this, I keep writing that the soundtrack is full of fantasy synth. I've been trying to note a lot of music throughout. A lot of fantasy synth. This is where there's like, now we're back to like a club. And we find out later that they were not supposed to play this show that we're seeing. And they did take it over. And it's some kind of like contest. And this is where they play Against the Ninja. And all I have in my notes is, I would totally pay money to see this band live. And
100%.
I would,
Yeah.
yes, like I would fork over real money to see this. I don't remember this because we did watch it a handful of days ago, but my notes were at the end, I believe it is the crowd chanting, "Take one, take one, take one." Do you remember why?
So I have the lyrics to Against the Ninja in front of me right now.
Okay. Does take
And
one mean anything to you?
Well, I think it's meant to be like the beginning of Taekwondo, but like chanted, because that is the chorus of this song.
Take one.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
But like Taekwondo, but they're just not saying the dough.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I might be completely wrong, but that is what I'm inferring from this.
Anyone from Dragon Sound, one, you could come over, play some music. We've said this. If anyone has some music or has some local music that they want to share, I would gladly play it. If anyone ever wanted to do some kind of an acoustic performance, we know you. We could definitely set this up. Dragon Sound, that includes you. Good Lord, that includes you. Come over. An acoustic version of what's the ninja song? Against the Ninja?
Against the Ninja, yeah.
I mean, stage 1, Rabbit Troop Sucks Studios. Stage 2, Red Rocks. Boom. I mean,
yeah, I think that's fine.
there's no roadblocks or complications. That's just how you do it. That is exactly how easy the music business is today. You come over, we play your song. You are then at a sold out Red Rock show, and then you are wearing our merchandise on an SNL performance. Thank you.
It seems reasonable. Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why more people aren't doing this. And if you would like to write in, we too will send you a video about our 3-step program, and we'll let you know for a small fee and royalty fee throughout your lifetime.
That sounds perfect.
And that's the Against the Ninja way.
Yeah. So at this point, Dragon Sound is driving home after the gig in the one gigantic convertible that they all drive around in.
That's right.
And they get ambushed by the other band.
Yeah, they're not
as well as the ninjas. Because I don't think we talked about this. I mean, we mentioned that it happened. I don't remember where in the movie it happened. Like Paul said, we watched this a few days ago. They made a deal. Like, hey, like you got to get rid of this band because we want our spot back at the club, and you want them to stop kicking your ass. And the drug dealer, the brother, was like, "Yeah, that seems like a good deal."
Yeah. I don't really understand the band dynamics of this.
No.
I mean, if
well,
anyone,
we never see that other band play anything.
I was gonna say similar things. Like throughout in my notes, I have that. I was like, that's it. Like I don't really understand what the hell's going. Like you're so angry about this situation. Like you're now like dealing with like crime syndicates, and you're like fighting people. Like I have no idea. If you're a local venue, one of my favorite, Lion's Lair, High Dive, Skylark, wherever you're at, write us. Let us know what the dynamic is between rival martial arts bands that you have booked. What's the etiquette? Do you try to have them on separate nights? Is there some kind of contest? I really don't know. So, I mean, good luck.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. It's a tricky situation. But yeah, they ambush them. But of course, because Dragon Sound is dope, they beat the shit out of
This is another instance. Kim
Yeah.
gets out of the car and just is like, all right, there's like 30 dudes. Well, one at a time.
Well, and Kim is also very polite throughout all
Sure.
of the ass beatings. He's always like, "Hey, like we're gonna beat your ass. Like you started this. We don't have to do it like this." And then they do, and he's like, "I'm sorry. I'm beating your ass right now."
It's the Rambo way. Like, you go up
Yeah.
there, you're going to have to do it. What happened? I did it. Now we're going to have to
I did
do
it.
it. Now we're going to have to do it. Yeah, it's really weird. And then they drive home and they celebrate. And then one of the characters is like, here's a picture of my father. And Kim is like, Kim says, I thought we were all orphans. I don't know why that anyone was
so bizarre.
thinking that, but that's an actual quote. I wrote that down. Like, I thought we were all orphans. And the dude has a straight up meltdown. And then he's like talking about his father. And this is what Mike mentioned earlier. Like, yeah, this is, I'm going to say in quotes, this is a quote unquote plot point. We learn about it now, and at the end of the movie, there's a real gap between the establishment and ending of this. But this guy's been looking for his father, and they've been estranged, and I don't know why. I don't like later in the movie, the father just like comes. It's not like I hired a detective. It's just like, oh, my father got lost, and I found him, and we're gonna meet.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a backstory to that, but there's not
Probably.
in this film.
No. And there's also not a backstory to the next scene, which is just Dragon Sound going to the beach. A lot of beach butts.
You do not need a backstory for Dragon Sound going to the beach. That's just implied.
It doesn't move the plot along. Nothing consequential happens. It's just like 5 minutes of them hanging out at the beach.
Yeah, I also read some of the IMDb trivia that you did earlier, and some of it was like YKK later on did reshoots and stuff. I truly feel this guy had the cameras going as much as humanly possible, and it was just like, yeah, we're going to the beach, but if something happens, we just might use some footage, everybody.
Right. Well, I feel like he ended up shooting like a 48-minute movie. And someone was like, "Hey, you've got to come up with like another half an hour."
Right. That's how you do it. And She's All That, they entered a dance sequence because it wasn't long enough. So, boom. That's what you do.
So
they
just went to the beach. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do. It was like
Totally normal stuff.
If I have to taekwondo a shark, it might be filmed. If it's me shotgunning a burrito or churro, it could be also filmed. So, day at the beach. I'm going to write this off. This is the Miami Connection. He was probably government funded.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So you know what? I kind of misspoke earlier. When Dragon Sound was ambushed, it was not the drug dealers and the other band. It was just the other band.
Oh yeah.
So
now they've been shamefaced.
Right. They've been shamed. So now we have the other band goes to the brother and his cadre of drug dealing ninjas, and I love this deal because he's like, hey, you've got to help me take down Dragon Sound because we want our old job back. If you take down Dragon Sound and we get our old job back, we'll pay you all the money that we get from doing this job.
Yeah.
Which is, so they don't need the money. They just want to play the music.
That's correct.
Okay.
Those are the true musicians. Going into this, and I think this is now a good time for me to reveal something.
Okay.
So I did not come up with this. There's a lot of theories, and this is addressed in the show, kind of tongue in cheek, not really addressed. But in the Karate Kid, there's a lot of theories that Daniel LaRusso is the actual villain. That if you look at this in another perspective, that he's actually causing all these problems. Like things could have been prevented. Is that Dragon Sound? If Dragon Sound just played it chill and just like calmed down and wasn't like fighting people and taking gigs and like smarting off and just like maybe didn't say they were against a ninja, to draw attention to them. Maybe
Yeah.
things could have been cool. Everyone could have done their drugs
100%.
in the jungle. There could have been multiple bands in Orlando. It would have been great.
Well, so in all fairness, one, Dragon Sound wasn't taking down drug dealers until the drug dealers tried to take down Dragon Sound.
Don't ever try to do that.
So if Dragon Sound hadn't horned in on this other band's deal, if Dragon Sound wasn't fucking this guy's sister, if they had less racially insensitive songs that weren't anti-ninja,
Yep.
they really started all of this.
Yeah. Also, how many ninjas are there? Like, we're against the ninja, but like, one, ninjas like our secret societies, duh. So you see them, except for the guy in white who wants you to see him.
Right.
Also, like, it's really more about like a crime syndicate. Like, a lot of these people are just like driving motorcycles and have guns and knives and stuff. Like, I feel the ninjas were just like a core group of 8 to 12 people that happened to be here, but I don't know. I'm asking too many questions about these ninja. Yeah, you heard me say.
I mean, it's a delicate ecosystem, and I don't fully understand it.
That's why you're against it. Not you, but them. Like, you got to be against it. I don't understand it. So this leads to fear. So boom, Dragon Sound's a villain. Yeah. I'm gonna write a dissertation that Dragon Sound's a villain.
They might be.
YK Kim would love
it. He would. Well, now we have YK Kim just doing what is effectively a 10-minute Taekwondo demonstration.
Absolutely. This goes on for all of my life. It's
really wrong.
I actively feel this is like an audition reel, or this is like, hey, I'm gonna bring someone, I'm gonna do some moves and I'm gonna keep that, but I'm gonna get another actor, and if we kind of vibe, I might also keep that. Vibed enough, done.
Right. But that is the next 10 minutes of this movie. It's him taking turns beating the ass of everyone else in Dragon Sound, but like pretend.
Correct.
Yeah.
So now you are fluent in the way of martial arts.
I had a black belt when this concluded.
It was like the Matrix. Basically, you have just like uploaded his training into your brain like the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you do it. It's the Dragon Sound way. Dragon sounding all up and down these halls. Yeah, I have that. And I have that. I was like looking at my notes. I was like, it's still going on.
It is still going on. I think the next.
Then there's a 5-minute brick demonstration. They start breaking bricks.
Yes, they do start breaking bricks.
I knew it wasn't just like doing like moves. Like you would imagine, like almost like Tai Chi meditative moves, like your arm extends, kind of doing the poses and the forms.
Right.
And they're doing that, but then, yes, I forgot there was a brick demonstration that also takes place.
He really wants people to come to his Taekwondo studio.
I want to go. I'm in. Invite me. Let us in. Kim, please write us. Call us. I love it. Send us promos. I think Dragon Sound, I think there was like a vinyl cut, like after it was re-released, but I do think some of the songs are on vinyl records.
No, you excuse me. You can get this on vinyl. You can also, like, if you have Spotify, the soundtrack is straight up on Spotify.
How many songs are there? Well, I mean, let me backtrack. Are they like the score of the movie, which there are a couple other songs, or is it just Dragon Sound? Because
I think
there is a difference for me as a consumer. Well, that's the best route. I was going to say there's a difference for me as a consumer, and that's the direction I want to go.
Yeah, no one needs to hear this movie's like incidental soundtrack.
Yeah, you're here for Dragon Sound. You're not here for the opening band. You're not here for your cousin's friend's band who showed up. You're here for Dragon Sound. You're wearing the shirt. You're lighting a lighter. You're against the ninja. Then the ninjas get you.
Well, okay. So there are 10 songs on the soundtrack.
Oh my God.
Let's just walk through them right now. The first song is called Escape from Miami, which is a nice compact 2 minutes.
It's like someone's autobiographical song.
Yeah. Then there is, normally I would say Escape from Miami would be an instrumental, but it's marked as explicit. So,
yeah. Well, they're going to tell you how it is. They're going to tell you exactly why and how to escape from Miami.
That rolls directly into Friends, which we're familiar with. And then track 3 is Against the Ninja.
Yes. Classics. Track 2 and
Right.
3. I mean,
Yeah.
you just paid for admission.
Getting it out of the way. Track 4 is called Tough Guys.
Yeah, well, they are.
Track 5 is called Train Yard.
I mean, that's where I train, in the train yard. So,
Also explicit.
oh, well, I mean, what stays in the train yard? Sometimes you pull a hammy, you say some
Yeah.
things.
Uh, Track 6 is just called I Love You.
Well, that was
Yeah.
that was later regretted and
Yeah.
stricken from the original soundtrack.
Then we roll into track 7, Taekwondo Family.
Well, I mean,
It's all about
it
family.
was after the breakup, the cult. I mean, family started. So good, yes.
Right. Well, I mean, they start out as friends, then they say I love you, and now they're family.
That's yeah.
I think that's the trajectory. Track 8 is a live track called Fantastic Fest, which is 10 minutes long.
Yeah, it's
Then
fantastic.
there's an instrumental version of Friends and an instrumental version of Against the Ninja.
Well, to be fair, I read nowhere that a lot of people were asking that this could be like the closing ceremonies of a prom or like a homecoming, and they didn't want the lyrics, especially because they were explicit. So, I mean, the soundtrack was so popular in the area that I guess they cut a different demo and it went really well at the dances and the kids loved it. So, Dragon Sound, one way or another. I mean, you don't always have to be explicit. That's the Dragon Sound way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and speaking of the Dragon Sound way, after the board breaking demonstration, there's like a Dragon Sound meeting, and they're talking about, hey, we should go on a world tour. We should go to all the countries that our families are from and spread the word of Dragon Sound and Taekwondo.
Yeah, not only it was, yes, everything that Mike said, it was while we're in those countries, we'll go to the Taekwondo representatives and those who study, and we'll teach our ways and learn theirs. And they're like, that sounds like a great idea. And I was like, oh my God, you're such in a cult. You're in some weird hippie Taekwondo cult. I know it now.
It was really weird. And I don't remember, again, anyone's name, but one of the guys was Jewish. And he's like, you're Jewish. We can go to wherever you guys are from and do Taekwondo there as well.
You go everywhere.
Yeah.
It's the Dragon Sound way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something else. What also? Why do I have Uncle Song? What is that?
I don't know.
Chef kicks in all their. What is? I can't read any of my handwriting. That's also the Dragon Sound way. Can't read your handwriting. Also, going back, sorry, explicit language. Where in Dragon Sound does that fit? Like, that is not the aesthetic. Again, I'm not even joking. Like, I would love to hear this, but all sarcasm aside, they're like friends for eternity, loyalty, honesty. Like, that's the beat, and then it's like we're against the ninja.
Yeah,
like,
it's all very wholesome.
So, like, yeah, like what? What do you like? We're against the ninja, the shitbag thieves. like what? Like what is? Who's swearing? Like, what's happening? Who's like the filthiest rapper you could think of? It's like guest starring blank. Like
like ODB comes in and just like freestyles over it.
like against the ninja, like F this, F that. I'm like, whoa. Like, thank you, ODB. Like, stay against the ninja, kids. That would be the combination. I mean, that's maybe on that one Wu-Tang album that piece of shit owned that now he had to give up, like Scarelli.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there is a Dragon Sound cameo that we were unaware of. That
oh, maybe.
That, I mean, prove me wrong and send me a copy, someone.
Yeah, hey, Method Man comes in and starts talking about Dragon Sound, dragging these nuts across your face.
Sure. Method Man, call us up, zoom in, email us, chat. Let's talk about, we have FaceTime. We could hit each other up via satellite. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we got the technology.
Is there a way we could like connect switches? I've seen Nintendo Switch commercials. Could we play like
probably.
Could we play Animal Crossing and talk about it on this podcast?
Can we do it in VR?
Yes.
Okay.
Done.
Perfect.
So yeah, I don't. Where are we at? Now, I think now they have to like do something. They're going downtown and there's a challenge. There's a letter on a car and then they have to go meet downtown.
Yeah, there's another like ambush. There's another big fight somewhere where again Dragon Sound beats the shit out of everybody.
Oh, I have what I was so my notes. The chef kicks all of their asses. I'm like, what's happening? They keep going to this
Oh,
diner, and
to that pizza restaurant.
yeah, and this like rival gang rolls up before they do, and the chef just kicks all of their asses. It's like a real
Well, because they run out
nonsense.
without paying.
Yeah, and he's like, hell no, and it just like beats them all senseless. Then, then Dragon Sound rolls up. He's like, oh, I had to just beat all their asses. They're like, oh, good. And then they go out, and then there's a letter on a car, and it's like, meet downtown. There's a challenge.
Yeah.
And then
And they did.
and then Jane is like, I got to go see my brother, who's the rival gang leader. And I also noted this, and I think Mike said this early. The brother has to be at least 40 years old. So again, like highlighting that, like, who are these gangs? Why are they so upset? So in theory, these people are, I would assume, in their early 20s, and they're going to school. And this guy is 40 plus in the head of a rival gang, messing with like a 20-year-old going to school. Like, this is
Correct.
a
Yeah.
super bizarre dynamic.
So, well, and it gets more bizarre in a second because, yeah, the brother is like in his 40s. His sister, who is the student with Dragon Sound, is like, probably 20, 21, whatever. We later find out, and pretty quickly, that they have another brother who was an old Asian man.
Yes,
That's correct, right?
I believe so. This is a Beverly Loughlin situation where I'm like,
Yeah, it is.
we don't need to
is.
question like how people could be related or what's going on. It's going back to YK Kim saying is, I thought we were all orphans, so family together. Boom.
Right. And maybe they're like orphan brothers, but we see them. They go to this like Sturgis like motorcycle jamboree, and there's a bunch of dirty old bikers, and then sitting at the bar is this fancy pants Asian guy who's brothers with the drug dealer, who is a white man.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy, I don't know what his role in all of this is. He seemed really inconsequential.
I have a lot of questions for a lot of things. I'm like, this movie is clearly piecemeal together. I think I read somewhere in the trivia that like it was like part of the movie was damaged like in the years, and they tried to put together all the best prints, so some of it might look older or a little faded. I didn't really notice that too much, but I would say if someone's like, there was a lot of extra pieces and we did our best to reassemble the Humpty Dumpty of this film, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So like they weren't supposed to go at the beach. Like, beach? What are you talking about, beach scene? Like, I was just filming to make sure the camera lenses could film in this light. Like, they use that? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all, honestly.
And then that's how you do it. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, where do I got? We got a bunch of bikers rolling up. Do we already get there? The bikers.
Yeah,
are,
well, I mean, nothing
yeah.
happens at the biker jam. They show it.
Yeah. And then Jane tries to tell her brother, and her brother and these bikers, like, it's all going to be okay. And they're like, absolutely not. And people are really angry. And then the next morning, I don't, it's like in the newspaper, like there's like trouble a brewing. I can't remember like the actual script of what was in the newspaper, but it was like the next morning there's letters in a newspaper. I think some weird threats.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I don't really know what's happening here.
I think at this point in time, like everyone's teamed up. Like they've all teamed up, the bikers, the drug dealers, like everyone on Earth is like, we've got to take down Dragon Sound. And then there's like a threat. And then I'm trying to see what goes on here. Mike and I watch this because Mike has not been feeling well, so we actually normally watch a lot. Not always, but mostly watch the films together and then record.
Yeah.
So we watched this a couple of days ago, and it was becoming kind of late. And so I was like, what am I trying to write here in my notes? And it is clearly the biggest non sequitur in my thoughts that I think I've ever taken in a movie. And I just wrote, the enjoyment of this film is within the synth, and I mentally leveled up at least 3 or 4 times. Dragon Sound is ready.
Is that a haiku?
I don't know, but those are in my notes. And thank you, Dragon Sound. You mentally leveled me up. I don't know what I was listening to at that point in time, but there was, again, a lot of fantasy synth going on.
So does the sister get taken by the thugs at some point?
The rival game kidnaps Mustache Tom, and that's
right.
And
That's right.
they take Tom, who is one of my favorites. That guy just seems crazy, and he seems down for anything. And they lock him in a cell, some kind of like weird room, and that's kind of it.
Okay, so this now my note makes more sense. I remember this now. So the sister is like trying to find the mustache guy, and she walks up to three random thugs, and she says, "Have you seen like my brother? Like I'm looking for someone."
And this is, do you have the line written down?
I do have it written down.
Go for it. So I'll set the scene again. She's like, "Have you seen Tom?" And this is what the guy says.
I haven't seen anyone since 1962.
I wrote that verbatim, and I wrote, what? What does that even mean? That was
He hadn't seen anyone in 20 years.
That was a very specific date. That makes me extremely suspicious of this character. Way more suspicious than I was. I thought this guy was a petty crook of some sorts. This guy is up to some super shady shit. Like, what are you talking about? March 1st, 1962 in a warehouse off the dock. What? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. But Dragon Sound sneaks in. They tie that guy to a hangar or some tower, and they just leave him. And then Dragon Sound sneaks into some kind of, I don't even want to say warehouse facility. I'm going to say, imagine a bunch of metal beams erected into a tower, and you hang out near it. That's that's where we're at.
Is this like some scaffolding? Is there not like a purpose to the building?
Like in that 70s show, there's a lot of reoccurrences where they keep going to like a water tower, and sometimes they fall off or they get drunk there. I feel like this is their equivalent. They're like, let's go out of the old scaffolding, like, dope. like geez, like this is the worst gang I've ever seen. The amenities of this gang are terrible.
They are terrible, yeah. The brother gets killed though, doesn't he? Get kicked off the tower.
He does.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's fully kicked. I think he goes to like attack, and like I honestly think one of the guys like almost moves, like, nah, man, and like the guy just like goes over. Like, so I don't technically think that one of them killed it. Is like one of them was in the vicinity of that guy falling off.
He just missed, because the sister afterwards is like, they're like, "Hey, sorry about your brother." They're like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh no, like you totally fine. That guy sucked."
Yeah, her reaction to that, even like if like he's doing weird stuff, it was super bizarre. Like,
right, I was expecting like, I'm kind of pissed that you killed my brother. No, she was like, no, it's fine. We're cool.
Or just like, I need to mentally think about this, or I'm just like so stricken with grief. But it's like, I really took it as, but we've been dating for 3 weeks, and this relationship seems a little more important than, my 40-year-old gang brother who just died.
Well, she has the other older Asian brother.
That's true. I mean, she's a vending machine of brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, I'm trying to look at my notes too. Yeah, the rival leader just kind of gently gets knocked off. Like it wasn't like at least in my notes, it wasn't a full-on push or anything like that. But that guy's totally dead.
Yeah, he is totally dead. So after they've concluded that everyone's cool with that guy being dead,
Jeff,
we find out
that guy's named Jeff. Jeff, the gang leader. Jeff.
Okay. He's dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we find out that the guy who was looking for his father found his father, and he's going to go meet his father.
Sure. Dude's like, I was up the street. Why didn't you call me?
Right. So Dragontown pulls together the, I think, $47 that they had
to buy him a suit.
To buy him a suit.
That was like Kim's. He's like, we got it. How much money do you have? Like $20. What about you? 30. We got to get this guy a suit.
Yeah, we're getting this guy a suit right now. So there's like a big suit fitting montage. Yeah, it was very nice.
It was almost like a Revenge of the Nerds moment. I don't know why. I kind of like that scene. It's like it's like from the Archies.
Right.
Jughead needs a tie.
So, they get him fitted, and they're on the way to go meet this guy's dad in the one big convertible that they drive around in. And then, wouldn't you know it, the ninjas show up.
I mean, that's why they're against the ninja. They've been pretty direct about this. And this was the public service announcement. They've been damn warning everyone. Like, hey, ninjas are cool, right? Like Ninja Turtles just came out. What is this movie? 89, 87? What's going on? Whatever. Like Ninja Turtles just came out. Everyone's cool. This is what happens when you support ninjas. Crime on the streets.
Right.
looting, highway robbery. What's the opening from Scrooge?
Oh, from Scrooge, yeah.
Like
acid rain,
international terrorism. This is the gateway to hell, people.
It is, yeah. My note here is Jeff is never going to meet his father.
No.
But
so
they all get into
spoiler. It does. We can't leave off on it.
He does. But yeah, there's a big ninja showdown. But it's touch and go because Jeff gets. Did he get stabbed or thrown starred?
Yeah, I think it's like a sword. Jeff takes like a huge bladed blow to like the chest.
Right, because it's worth pointing out that Jeff is the one member of Dragon Sound who cannot do martial arts. He's throwing punches. But,
is that official?
Well, every time he fights, he's fighting people like I would, which is to say poorly and unsuccessfully.
Maybe the backstory is he's like the newbie. Like he's only just started training. And what I'm gathering is if you're in Dragon Sound, you train in martial arts and you also play instruments and part of the band. So maybe he's just like the new guy.
Maybe, but he is in any of the fight sequences in this movie previous to this. He was not involved.
It would make sense why YK Kim didn't know that he was had a father because he was like, I thought we're all orphans. He was like, well, you only joined our cult like a day ago, so I really don't know the backstory, but really great to have you here. Oh, yeah. And I keep saying YK Kim, but he goes by Mark, but he's YK Kim.
Mark is his name in the movie. Yeah.
He's YK Kim in all of our hearts.
Yeah. So Jeff gets stabbed, and you're meant to think that he's dead. Mark freaks out, drags Mark. What?
Oh yeah, he does freak out.
He freaks out. He drags Jeff's body through like a dirty sewer stream to get him out of the way, and then Mark has a showdown with the Great White Ninja.
Yeah,
who was also the drug dealer's brother.
So the guy dating Jane is John, and John takes off his shirt and goes Hulk on everyone. He's part of Dragon
He goes
Sound.
full berserk.
Yeah, he is slicing ninjas like a madman. It's a little alarming because all of a sudden you're like, oh, this guy, I said it earlier, this guy's super nice. I was like, oh, maybe he's nerdy. And I was like, nah, he just kind of keeps to himself. And I don't mean like nerdy as like a shot, like you're listening to two dudes like podcasting about obscure movies. Just got a kind of guy who keeps to himself, has his own hobbies. Now he is like roided out, like, rah! Is like,
like his shirt's off and he's slashing. He is responsible for killing probably 42 ninjas.
Yeah, John if this was G.I. Joe, John single-handedly walked into the Cobra base and everyone's dead. Like, there might be Cobra Commander, but like, even if Cobra Commander survives, it's done. It is done. Like, don't mess with John. Don't give him a sword. And he took it from a ninja, and he was so angry about it.
He was very upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then there's the final showdown between Mark and the other guy. Mark wins, obviously.
I have yes. Mark clearly wins with the White Ninja, but I liken this to when John does freak out. He literally starts tracking down people, and I likened it to Lord of the Rings when they're like, "Let's go hunt orcs." Like,
he's not defending himself any longer. He's going after it.
Yeah, it's like you rang some guy's doorbell, you wronged him, and he's now running down the street after you. Like, he will find you. It is over. So your ninja skills better pay off. P.S. It does not. But yes, Mark takes this guy down super easily. It's really weird.
It wasn't really a contest.
Yeah, and he slices his head off, so his head just like falls off and.
Right.
It's kind of where we're at. And then where we go. Mark cuts everyone loose. And I think we basically are going back to the hospital, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, we're going to the hospital. And the doctor comes out and he's like, he lost a lot of blood, but you guys saved him. He's going to be okay. And here we meet
that dude's dad?
The dude's dad, who is an actor that is easily the same age as him, but with horrible sprayed on gray hair.
I also noted the spray on gray hair. Like, who are you fooling here?
And this guy, I don't know where they found him. This is, and I don't say this lightly, he was the worst actor in this movie. He's like, I can't thank you guys enough for saving my son.
Okay, so first of all,
it's like got to meet.
It's like I don't even know what's going on. He looks like Oh my God. Who does he look like? He kind of, I don't know who I could even liken this guy to, but yeah, Mike's totally right. He's breaking up with weird dialogue. It looks like he's reading off cue cards. First and foremost, he just met his son who is slashed across the chest with a blade.
Hmm.
And dad is like, let's all go home. And they do. They're like wheeling
Right.
him out and freeze frame. That's the end of the movie. Like, this dude
Hmm.
didn't die. Everyone's still alive. Dragon Sound, way to go. I thought they lost a keyboardist. They did not. So
No.
boom. I didn't know what to think. But yeah, Dragon Sound lives another day, and we get a little freeze frame. I think I have a couple extra notes, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that was the end of the movie. What do you have other notes? I'm curious. I'm curious to see what these are
I can't
because I
even.
do not.
I don't. Something about eliminations. Let's go
Okay.
home.
Hmm.
World peace.
Hmm.
I don't. Is this mentioned at the end or anything?
I don't know.
Oh no, there's a quote. This makes sense because I was like, I'm not even gonna put another page. It's like, only through elimination of violence can we achieve world peace. Like that flashes across the
Oh yeah,
screen.
that is the yeah.
Because I
Okay,
wrote it
saw
down
that
like,
in
I
the
mean, I saw
trivia.
that and I was like, oh my God, I have to write this down insanely quick. And it was like, I am writing on the side, but yeah, that's the end of the movie. Like, it was some kind of, I don't know, PSA that we got to be against the ninja. We've got to
Hmm.
embrace, the in and out breaths of life. And we just can't be against other things outside of ninjas. We've got in-house take care of this.
Hmm.
So with that
Oh,
said,
so
oh, go ahead.
I'm just reading a piece of trivia about this now in real time. Um, Apparently, the original ending was that Jim died,
Hmm.
but when the film was like test screened, every distributor was like, "This is a huge downer, Kim. You got to fix it." Uh, so that's when the ending was reshot, and maybe that's why the father was such a shitty actor because they just found that they had to find some rando uh, at the last minute. And
Yeah,
apparently, the guy that played the rival ninja at the end was played by a different guy because they had to reshoot it.
fantastic. All of
Yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to
definitely.
think. He was dressed as like James Earl Jones in Coming to America, like kind of like that's what I was trying to think.
Yes.
Like what could I liken him to? And he was just like reading a cue card. It was super bizarre. He's like, "Ha ha, that's my son. Let's go home." I'm like, "You just met your son who woke up from a coma, and you just found out he was in a band and in a dragon sound gang war."
Yeah, correct.
Daddy. So with that said and done, what's your ultimate view on Miami Connection?
I think this movie is a lot of fun. Like, I know I've gone on record many times as saying I don't really like cult classic movies, and I don't. This is not like a routine, frequent watch for me, but I mean, I've seen it twice now. I've enjoyed it both times. Like, it's definitely a wacky ride. If you're looking to just hang out, like, clown on a movie and have some drinks, this is a fun one. Um, like, it's not a good movie, but it's not. I don't know. Like, the martial arts in it are good because it's clear that everyone here is like trained in that
Sure.
discipline. But like, and even the fight choreography isn't bad. But like all the fights, it doesn't look like they're actually fighting. Like it just looks like they're doing a demonstration. But I don't know. It's fun. It's kind of charming. It's silly. Um, that's my feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I would take it pretty much as is on that. Like, for me, it is a super fun film. You don't have to sit and pay, like, after you've seen it once, you don't have to sit and pay attention to the whole thing. Like, this movie, I would gladly turn on if I had to. I mean, to watch it again and again, I would gladly turn it on if I was, I don't know, prepping some kind of dinner. I'd kind of look over, see a scene, watch the martial arts, kind of chuckle at the music, stuff like that. Yeah, it's totally fun. Like, I would absolutely recommend this film, but do not go in with serious intentions. I mean,
No, 100% don't do
I mean,
that.
I feel bad for the director if this was the vision and someone's like, your serious attempt at this is like more comical, but I'm not making fun of the director. Like, I really think this is a funny and interesting film. It's quirky as all hell, but like, I had fun. Like, I'm not making fun of the director by any means. Did he do anything else?
I don't know. Let me see.
Was he so against the ninja that he was unable to do anything else. As Mike said, I know we read the trivia that it just did not do well upon release and was basically shelved, and only, someone found it, and then from Alamo Drafthouse, and then it became kind of like a cult classic, and then was released on DVD or Blu-ray and all that stuff. Which I think is
he has done literally nothing else.
That's like really sad for me, and I'm sure that's why he was probably very against, like, you guys are making fun of me, like I don't want to relive this. I know there was like a lot of money put into this film too, so
well, it was all his. Like he must have been a very successful dojo owner, because he put like over $1 million of his own money to make this movie.
I hope he got it all back. Like, I'm saying that in total sincerity. I hope he got it back and more.
No, in all sincerity, I do. I'll bet he did not.
Maybe there's just like a deal, like we'll buy you out. Like this is a one-time fee and we're buying this. I don't know. But I hope this guy is successful. I would love to see if this guy was ever in anything else, but that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
Well, as always, if you have suggestions or you want to get in touch with us, you could hit us up on Instagram, or you could hit us up on Facebook. You could write us at rabbittroopsuckspodcast@gmail.com, or you could go to rabbittroopsucks.com. We'll take suggestions. We have shirts. We have stickers. I have some stickers that some of you will get at some point in time. Last year's shot glasses, maybe more shot glasses will be had. Shirts you could just kind of get on your own. Mike, do you want to tell us? We have a fan request, a listener request, and that is what we're doing next time around. Mike, do you want to give us a little insight on this?
Yeah, next week we'll be watching a movie called Wildcats, which was a suggestion from listener Hillary. So we're excited to watch that. It's a movie that I have not seen, but looking into it, there's a lot of fun key points which were outlined in the recommendation email, which we'll talk about next week. But I mean, the director, after looking into this director has directed a ton of movies that I love. I don't know how I missed this.
Yeah, it's the director of the two huge ones for me, Fletch and The Golden Child. Love both those films.
I do as well. I especially love The Golden Child.
Yeah, if we haven't talked about this, I honestly, even for like a background film, I put on The Golden Child at least a handful of times in any given year.
Oh yeah, I watched that movie a lot. I mean, it's the best way to see a really fun movie where the main actor clearly is not interested in being in that movie.
That is absolutely
correct. But it's
correct.
still good. Yeah.
He likes to party all the time.
Eddie Murphy does not want to be in that movie and does not care, and it's awesome.
Maybe he was partying differently so he could party all the time.
That's quite possible.
But I look forward to it, and we're gonna have guests too. There'll be
we'll have a couple guests.
Mike will still be coming remote, but we'll definitely have our friends Lamar and Nemo back to assess Wildcats and give us their opinions on it.
Yeah, so definitely excited to get that one going.
Is there any other movies you could think of in the future, or is this off-air talk?
There's one so we have a lot of recommendations that I do want to get through because I'm pretty excited about a lot of them, but I think we need to break them up a little bit. So there is a movie that you and I have talked about doing that I think we should do after Wildcats.
All right. So I think I have some ideas about this. But
yeah,
those of you listening, I mean, thank you so much, as always, for listening to any of this. And if you do have suggestions or you do want us to look into a movie, let us know. We are compiling a list. I mean, we have our own. Mike searches some out and I search some out. Clearly, we have friends and listeners who are writing us. We appreciate people who have been wanting to be on the show or give us suggestions. Like, that's super awesome. That's I really think that's cool. And again, although we go through a lot of obscure and weird films, we have found some serious gems, like things I would never have known about. So, really cool, like some movies that will be coming up clearly throughout this year. We got to hit up some major things.
Yeah, so keep them coming for sure.
They will keep them coming. Damn it.
You
got to sign us out, Mike.
I have nothing else to say other than sorry I couldn't be there in person. Hopefully I'll be on the mend soon. This sucks. Feeling sick sucks.
Well, feel better, buddy.
I'm going to. Yeah, I didn't mean to do that on a downer. I'm doing alcohol right now to wash away the sickness. So
you've got to do alcohol. It's
hopefully that's helping.
It's doctor prescribed. Yeah, you got to take 3 alcohol before bed.
It's medicinal. Yeah,
I knew it.
All right.
Well, as always, Rabbit
Yeah.
Troop sucks.
Rabbit Troop sucks.